incredibly lovely, and what a privilege just to be able to connect with you again. Um, yeah, it's incredible that we are in part two in the receive phase and or the receive part, the next four phases, and we've actually covered the first four phases, the arrive phase, and we are so excited to move on through the receive part, and let's have a look at what happens during these four phases that we are going to work through. So we are at phase 5, and I would just like to briefly let us look at part 2, the receive. So let me just read here. I've just written this part. Treasured loved one, open your heart to receive what God has prepared from the ages through the Son, your ultimate gift. And Jesus is our ultimate gift. He is the one that we are pursuing, and He is the one that this is all about. This is just to realign whatever is part of our story and our loved one's story to His story, our history to His story. And whatever our story, our convictions, our truth is, not real truth, because there's only one truth, but our viewpoint or interpretation of reality, how that can realign to His truth, who He is. And Jesus is the truth and the life and the way. And as we pursue Him and follow Him and really just desire to be part of His pathway and His journey, so we will see the fruit of becoming more like Him and influencing our society with His flavor. So the receive part is really a preparation part for the influence part, for part 3. And it's not that part 2 and even part 1, even for the unborn and the born and the newborn and the infant, that it's not possible for them to influence society. Not at all, because we know that it's so true. They bring so much joy and reconciliation, often reconciliation. And so influence will always be part of the story, but the real long-term influence that we are going to look at, that will be part of part 3. And this is a preparation. This is a stepping stone towards that. So by now, after we've worked through part 1, our loved one that we are praying for should know that he is welcome, and he may be here. He has birthright, and that is all settled. He is loved unconditionally, and that he has a good and a godly inheritance, and the gift of life, and that he is now initiated into trust. So phases 5 to 8, we will focus on this preparation. And initiation to trust is actually very much the foundation of our ability as humans to receive. So part 2 covers phases from the first crossing over. So we ended part 1 with the birth, which was the first crossing over from darkness and being in hiding into light and being exposed and being very vulnerable, to the second crossing over, which will be the 12 to 13 years, which is phase 7. So remember, just a phase is a segment, a slice in time, and where development has reached a place, physical development has reached a place where the recipient should be able to receive any stimuli from the environment in order to be equipped to again be able to handle the next phase efficiently, so that there will be progression, so that there will be growth and a moving forward. Remember, we said movement can either be forward or backwards. It's like, and this journey is like a vehicle. And development through the phases should always take us forward, closer to our main destination, our main goal, which is getting to know the King of Kings and our Creator God, who so much loves us and pursues us. So we want our loved ones to be equipped to be able not just to survive, but to flourish. And this is one of the foundational phases to get them to be a mature, godly, equipped Christian, pursuing him, but also bringing and establishing reconciliation between man and his maker, God. And it should be a process of being free from the hijacking, the limitations of past hurts, past pain. And this is actually what we are pursuing, is so that we can see that whatever damage or limitation or hijacking past pain have caused, that we can identify it and deal with it efficiently and as far as we are able to as intercessors. So throughout the phases, there should always be a healthy send and receive rhythm, a give and receive rhythm. It's either from us to our loved ones, or from God to us to our loved ones, or God to our loved ones. So there's always a send and receive or give and receive rhythm, a give and take. And that should be something, well, it actually happens whether we know it or not, whether we are aware of it or not, but it should be part of our coming and going during the day and during the evening. So be reminded that our heart's desire is to see our loved ones really maturing and operating in their spiritual identities, who God has called them to be. Not just their physical identities and uniqueness, but also in their spiritual or their identities or their heart print. I often talk about the heart print, like you get a fingerprint, but you get a heart print that makes you really unique in your strengths and your abilities, in your interests, and also your story and how that has impacted you in becoming who you are now, or your loved one is now. So remember, and again, please continue to pray for his light to shine into your heart and your loved one's heart and life. His light is safe. And I want to just remind you, I know we've spoken about this several times, but read again Hebrews 4, verse 12 to 15. If you can,